I didn't think you'd understand me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, can I get a table over there? That way. I got my iPad today.
All three formats?
Yeah, all three formats.
Oh, really? It's gonna cut some shit off, isn't it?
No, you gotta format it so it shows on all of the aspects.
Oh, so it'll have bars.
Yeah, because if somebody pulls it up on
So it'll have bars.
yeah, it's gonna have bars on the thing. Yeah.
Okay.
So just look.
I was thinking like, so we gotta
edit it so
okay,
that
but it'll have bars. So
yeah,
just put it into whatever say format for this, format for that.
for that.
And then from there on, somebody can see after they maybe edit or film to make sure we fit it.
Just the aspect. I don't think you can do it. But they also can let us know what format they want it in. Some people want it in like AVHC versus like weird ass, shit that you can save it in. Not yet, not yet. No, they're just doing the logos instead of the channel. Yeah. So when people pull it up, they can see infinity is the right aspect ratio on their TV. Yep. I don't know why she didn't say that. But she right. Just been. All right, I'm
That's the last one. Don't you tell people go check out the final game, the bowl game of the year, and see if they get some. But I'm thinking, you see that last game, Lakers might not even make it. That's what I'm saying. They might not make it. There's no way. Because it's like hot here in the last game. You see that hurt. Now you're like, shit, we ain't about to win the playoffs. Or you like, hey, rest this game. I feel it.
They was like, Becky Hammond not going to do it. I'm like, yes, she absolutely. It's far less.
Is it a loss here? If a loss here mean they're done for the playoffs? No, they're not done. Tulip says that. Tulip said that. It would just be a. Yeah,
It's not mathematically true.
it would just be a bad look.
They would have to win almost every game after that.
Oh, you have to go to the sim stuff. Find local hotspot or find STA. So Vegas might be like. What's the password for that? I think it's insanity. No capital. Insanity. No capital. Quicker than I thought. Like what they you just gotta be super emotional and relaxed. You should turn on your mics. Make sure they hear us.
Check, 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 check. Oh my goodness, the sound sounds so great here, y'all.
Mic check. There we go. Perfect. Hey, click in there. I want to see. Make sure Jason and them can hear us. Go ahead. Hey, what's up, guys? Can you guys hear us in the room there? We want to make sure we are heard so that we can be prepared for a question. I know we're early. I'm not sure if anybody's in there as of yet. 5:15 start.
I'm showing audio.
Okay.
In the mic.
Oh, in the mic? Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, we got so many Indiana Fever fans in the building. I see y'all across the street in that 22 jersey.
They
Bring
outside.
yourself over here and get some pizza.
They
All right.
outside.
Come join the light side, the LA side. All right.
Poor Fever fans, though. They've been without their superstar player for quite some time.
I don't feel bad for any of them. We were without all our best players for 3 years.
No,
Michael
oh yeah,
Matthews.
facts. 3. That might be 5. Since the wobble, huh?
Bro,
Since the wobble, the Sparks feel like everybody. I've been on the injury report one time. I ain't even
we
playing.
almost suited up that one time. No.
But Indiana has had their struggles and issues, and
I would also like to point out that we said at the end of WNBA season, the season always never looks like the beginning because the most healthy team wins the championship. It's not.
It's a battle of attrition. Huh? Let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah, because we just started talking.
Yeah, it's easy. Hey, what's up, guys?
What up?
Yo, what's up, LA Sparks fans? You know what it is, and today is a big one. The Indiana Fever are in town as the Sparks look to bounce back after a tough loss earlier this week against the Phoenix Mercury. A win to get 18 and 19 an inch closer to try to secure a playoff spot after such a long season, dealing with injuries. Tough losses, and they still have an opportunity, DJ. So it's going to be a fun one tonight. I hope y'all ready. Michael Matthew, DJ Treacy Treese, LA Sparks Weekly here, LA Live with it. Emmy Squared Pizza here on 11th and but
best player on that team. I hate that's. But if you look at the actual statistics, Mitchell has been the best player on the Indiana Fever for a very long time. She is in her bag. Aaliyah Boston is also in her bag. So we got to look out for those two. But I anticipate that our LA Sparks are going to answer the call today. Ring, ring, who's calling? The LA Sparks coming to put BTA on the Indiana Fever.
Hey, we're calling them, and they better pick up.
They better pick
because
up.
They have to this victory tonight. Like, this is a huge game for the Sparks. I said it a week or two ago, when we were in the studio doing one of our live road game shows. I said, hey, the Sparks have to try to secure the 3 teams that are the one team just below them. Up next, they got Indiana. Tonight, you have Seattle coming to town, and then the Washington Mystics. They have to try to win those 3 games because each win, you beat the Fever tonight, you get a game closer. You know,
and
instead of a game back. We're 2 games behind, so you get a game closer. You knock off the Seattle Storm, you get a full game closer. Again. And if you knock off the Washington Mystics, you pretty much bury them from ever having a chance the rest of this way. So this is a very important game for the Sparks to try to win. And I know that you guys out there tune in are like, hey, we know how serious this is. I know the team, Coach Roberts, is serious. We're going to hear from her in the presser soon. But this is a huge game.
This is a huge game, and I think it's also going to be a fun game. We always like to see the hoops that are going to be competitive. Or the LA Sparks and the Indiana Fever sparring back and forth. What I do hope for is for our team to come out swinging in the first quarter. I want to see Rakia Jackson hit them 14 points in the first like we saw in games past. I want to see Azarae Stevens getting hot from that three-pointer. I want to see Cameron Brink on the block, giving us some blocks. All right? Exactly where we need her to be. So tonight is a night. Sheesh. Shouts out to all the motorcycle owners.
We on big for real. Like, They out here with the
Jeez.
motorcycle going crazy, the whips coming by. So
Yeah.
pull up Emmy Squared Pizza, get you some delicious pizza. If you're a beer drinker, they got the brew for you as well.
Santa Monica Brew.
But hey, shout out to everybody. I know it's gonna be a nice little crowd tonight. Shout out my guy Kalen for real. I just tapped in with him.
Hey.
I saw him. He's gonna be performing at halftime.
Shut
So
up.
that's gonna be pretty
Hey, we
dope.
even got a great halftime show going for the Indiana.
They gotta be ready to go. But very important game for the Sparks. They let one get away against a really good Mercury team.
Actually, one was taken away. And Michael, you got to be for
bit,
real
a
on this
little
one.
bit, little
I
bit.
was a little hot the last game, but I actually went home. I woo-side. What's going on, bro? How you doing? Let me give you some. Hey,
Wu-Tang forever.
Wu-Tang. I was just with Ghostface. This is my homie from the gym.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Wu-Tang forever.
But no, I was a little hot. There was a lot of crazy fouls that was going on. The refs, weren't officiating at all. They didn't show up to the game. But I'm hoping tonight they clock in. They got their time cards.
Okay.
Hopefully they got paid, so they're in a better position. We said it's Friday. Everybody feeling good. They got paid. And come out with a great attitude, and we don't have to see the teams go back and forth fighting.
No, yeah, at all.
Game.
Like, hopefully, this is a better ref game.
Yeah.
And, but the refs, they're in a tough spot because they know that these games are like playoff games for the Sparks. You want to be playing Indiana, Washington, and Seattle. These are teams that are vying for a playoff spot like themselves, to where the refs are like, we don't want to not blow the whistle. You know what I'm saying? To allow the games to get muggy, but then we don't want to blow it too much to where one team might feel, oh, y'all favored them. So they're in a tough spot. But
I'm going to take a page out of Coach Roberts' book. Okay. You got to adjust. You feel me?
I agree.
If the game is depending on the two teams that's playing, you saw how many times Alyssa Thomas pushed off.
Yes.
If you watching her push off for the 20th time and you haven't blown your whistle at all, you probably should kick it up just a little bit to help out.
Just to control the game, because guess what, guys? That is your job.
That's your job. Really, player safety. So we don't want to see players on the ground. And I'm not being facetious against the referees at all, but what I'm saying is we just need to see a more consistent performance in order for the fans to even understand and rock with the game. You don't want fans to be confused about the calls that's happening, the constant booing. We want to see a fairly officiated game that the teams can get hot with and continue to make the playoff runs. And let's say that the Sparks make it to the playoffs. We want to see the refs be good in the playoffs too.
Yeah, because you want it to be a fair game, a fun game.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm going to look towards the players, because we can always blame the refs here and there. I'm going to look to the players. You mentioned a player I feel that the Sparks really need to step up. Shout out to the tune there from Zoom. But Azurá Stevens, she hasn't been looking like the player that we've been craving about all season long, saying most improved player. She's had her struggles.
Yeah. I think the last two games are rough for Azurá.
Yeah, last two games have been rough, and this is the time where you need everybody to show up and show out. You have Rakia, who's questionable tonight, that we're gonna hear soon from Coach to see if she's good to go.
Ask that one.
Yeah, it has to be to see if she's good to go. But you want to see Azurá getting to double figures, getting near double figure rebounds, because she adds spacing when she's knocking down that three, and then that fearsome foursome is needed for this team to be successful. If you don't know who that is, it's Kelsey Plum, Rakia Jackson, De'Erica Hamby, and Azurá Stevens. When them four are playing well and they're all in the double figures, they're tough to beat. But when you get just one off, they can have some issues. So hopefully Azurá can show up tonight.
And tonight, the specific way we need Azurá to show up is from that 3-point line.
Yeah,
we need her. Yeah. We're gonna need her to shoot lights out. She's one of the most consistent 3-point shooters that we have.
Yep.
And that height, that length is really gonna make a difference playing against the Indiana Fever, who has a smaller team, right? So if we're gonna put our fearsome foursome out there and they 4 or 5 inches taller than everybody on the field, court.
Yep.
I'm gonna want you to add to that length and just play more aggressively. You can shoot. Nobody's gonna block you. Who's blocking Azuré's shot?
Yeah.
Was she 6'1"? Her wingspan 6'4"?
And she just has to be aggressive. Get to the rim, get some rebounds. Last game she finished with 5 points, 4 rebounds, only 5 shots. We need you to be at
We need you to keep shooting
10
that
shots.
and you know what? Julie Van Loo.
Yeah.
Maybe let's talk about Julie Van Loo.
Julie
Because the
step
shots
up.
that Azurá Stevens didn't take last game, I think Julie Van Loo took because she was just having a better shooting night, is what it seemed like.
No,
she hit a couple threes.
Julie has to. Both of the Julies, they've been having their issues as well. Not the time for that. We need them to show up. Julie Alamon was 0 for 3 from 3. Julie Van Loo only shot 1 shot attempt. But you get on the floor, it should be the green light.
Yeah,
get on that court.
Maybe I'm thinking of the other
to
game.
play. I think the game before when she was kind of off.
She was
But they gotta get out there and be aggressive. Every game here on out is a playoff game.
Yep.
The team is 7-11 at home. They want to try to get that down. They got 4 games. What a way to finish the season if you can win 4 straight games. But we got the presser. Coach Lynn Roberts is there inside of the crypto.com arena. I hope you guys are ready. Let's see what she has to say before this big time game. I know,
It's supposed to start. It's supposed to. Your mics are off. Our mics are off. Excuse me.
Great one. Joshua and I were just talking about it. Did you guys get one? No. He didn't either. That's what he was saying.
Hey, Coach. I know you've said how you're still learning like the intricacies of the league, and there are some things that you feel like maybe you don't know enough about to have a full opinion. But looking at a team like Indiana, they have multiple players out, almost like a mirror of where you guys were earlier in the season. With some of the scheduling, like recently when you had the what was it, 7 games in 13 days or something like that. Do you feel like, in terms of the injuries that we're seeing and maybe how it may correlate with some of the weird scheduling things, that's a conversation worth having, moving forward as the league continues to expand and possibly add games?
Yeah, for sure. And it's interesting you bring that up because I was just talking with our staff about that. We were talking about, like, I wonder what it is. What do you think it is? Why is there so many injuries? And there's probably a lot of reasons, and I think it's probably a 12-month. I think you have to look at the whole calendar year for these athletes, not just the W season, because they're playing overseas or they're playing like they're not getting that break that most professional athletes get in the off season. There really is no off season, so I think you can look at that. You can look at the physicality. You can look at the way the games have over the past few years. Just the time in between games has shrunk. So I don't. I'm not the person in the room to make those decisions, but I think it's a great question. I think everyone's asking it, and I'm certain the league and the owners and all the powers that be will evaluate, like, really kind of peel back the layers as to what's going on, because nobody wants that, right? And franchises don't want it. The league doesn't want it. So hopefully we can find a fix, but I don't know the answer, but it's interesting you bring that up because we were just talking about it.
John W. Davis with the Southern California News Group. Backcourt play is always important. Your backcourt, Julie, Kelsey, their backcourt's got some former Sparks in it now. Odyssey Sims,
Yeah.
Shea Petty, got some people who some vets, and they knew what they were doing here, and they know what they're doing over there. How are you approaching this matchup when they've got some extra familiarity with what you got going on now?
Yeah, I mean that's the unique thing about this league too, right? With players kind of those 7-day contracts or hardship contracts. Yeah, and Odyssey and Shea were great for us, and it's kind of the nature of the league. You play somebody 4 times, there's going to be a little more nuance to how you play, and we're going to have to do some different things, and that Shea and O are not privy to. So I think it's just kind of, we've had that experience with Dallas playing with Grace Berger. Like we've had players here that are now elsewhere, and we play them, and it just is what it is. But I'm always a believer that the other team could probably sit in our shoot around and watch everything. We still got to execute. And I don't think it's
Status for tonight.
I don't. I have not checked in with the medical stuff. She did
He has Robert.
a little bit at shoot around, not a ton.
Let's go to Zoom first in Fantasy TV, and then we'll go back to the
Turn it
room.
down. Hey, Coach. Michael Matthew here outside of Emmy Squared Pizza. The question tonight, with the fearsome foursome, which I like to call Azare, De'Erica, KP, and Rakia, when they're all productive, it kind of helped you guys go on a run to get you back in this thing for the playoffs. But these last 2 games, teams have kind of done a better job putting the body on Azare to make it tough. What can you guys do tonight to kind of open things up for her?
Well, I think that's a great point. And she is one of the big 4. I told her yesterday, in the month of August, she's actually shooting her highest percentage of the season, and she was surprised to hear that. Sometimes, it's a long season, and you can have a couple things go wrong, and then you just start telling yourself that you're not playing well. And so we watched the film and all the things, but she just has to be aggressive, and a lot of her shots come from just the movement of the ball, and her length and all the things. So she just has to be aggressive and kind of hunt those opportunities for her to knock down threes or the O boards, and she can put the ball on the floor too. So I think for her it's just a mindset of being more aggressive and staying confident.
Coach DJ here. Looking at the stats going into this game for both teams, it's eerie how close the teams are, like the Fever and the Sparks, with the percentages. How important is the coaching chess match at that point to differentiate the winner of the game?
Well, that's the fun part. And again, you play somebody 4 times, it's not checkers, it's chess, and you've got to make some adjustments, and you have a really good feel and vibe for how they play, how they score, what makes them successful, what they struggle with. And so it's figuring out, as a nerd, I love that kind of stuff, figuring out how to maybe attack some of those things on both sides of the ball. So it will, the games we played with them have been close, and it's come down to kind of execution, last team to make the run. And while those games are stressful,
Said something that said many times throughout the season. Which, obviously, your guys' offense, where you like to get the shots, but kind of on a personal level, how do you get a group of people who are all unique and all individuals to buy into a system where you're trying to but you're looking more for specific types of areas of the floor without stripping what makes them unique and individuals as players?
That's a great question. I think they have to understand the why. So it's not like we limit the shots they can take. We show them why to prioritize this shot over that shot. And it's all, the numbers are clear. And so it's just daily reminders, and we have our own little system of how we do that. And they see the results in outcomes, whether it's personal outcome, how did I perform, how did I shoot it that day, or how did we as a team shoot it? And so it's the process of daily reinforcing the principle. And so that's, it's not like if somebody takes a shot that we're not prioritizing, it's not like I'm going to blow my whistle and freak out, but you might point out like, hey, you shoot that 10 times as a team, we're going to score, 6 points. You shoot this shot 10 times as a team, we're going to score 14. So this is why. And it's just the consciousness of it. But it's got to be kind of the daily reinforcement.
Hi, Coach. Cara Alexander with the LA Times. With 8 games remaining before playoffs, what specific adjustments are you planning to address when it comes to the challenges that you face this season?
Meaning what?
With the team,
what challenges this
like
season?
defensively, just ball movement and like shooting.
Yeah, I think we just got to take it one at a time. I like that we have 8 games left. A lot of teams have a lot less. So with more games, yes, there's more fatigue or whatever, but there's more opportunities. So we've got to take them one at a time. Again, I know that's a boring answer, but that's the truth. And play with an urgency, and not, as I've said before, not harp on what we're not good at, but at this point, really hone in on what we're great at, and enforcing that and getting to that and seeing how we can make those things happen. But 8 games left. We just got to go one at a time. It's still in front of us. It's an uphill climb, but it's right there.
Thanks, everyone.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Let me know. We ready? So we're back. We just heard from Los Angeles Sparks coach Lynn Roberts before this big matchup against the Indiana Fever. DJ, we both were able to get some questions in there. Talk to Coach Lynn Roberts. You mentioned a good thing. You said, "Hey, you guys look very even, as of late." What does it come down to? Because when people think of the game, right, they think of the players, but they don't know how important these coaches truly are to make that slight adjustment that can give you an advantage. Just how important is Coach Lynn Roberts tonight on doing her job to make sure the team wins?
I think it's very important because Stephanie White is such a sneaky coach.
Yeah.
She is a phenomenal coach. She knows how to use her players as pieces to get to an ultimate outcome. So it kind of scares me a little bit that they don't got a full power, because that means Stephanie White is digging down in that noggin. She was on that plane, on that iPad, looking at those schemes and trying to figure out what
how
plays.
can we win this game?
And I was so glad when Coach Roberts said that's the fun part, because she already has a counter attack plan. And I want a coach that's doing that. I want a coach that is like, look, we done played these girls 4 times. You know what they're good at. You know what they're not good at. And you need to expect that there are going to be some unintended things that they do. So I like the fact that we got a coach who's already planning and plotting, and we don't have a Rakia. So now you got to really put your thinking cap on. You can't even do what you did the last game.
No, if she doesn't play tonight, it'll be huge, because last time they faced off, we were here in front of this beautiful restaurant, Emmy Squared Pizza, here in downtown Los Angeles, and the Sparks were able to pick up a 191 victory. Rakia chipped in 25 points.
That's a huge chip in.
You will hope that she's able to go tonight. But the question I had to ask was, hey, Coach, you're known this season, especially on this run for the fearsome foursome, which is De'Erica Hamby, who we like to call Emergency Contact, baby. Azurá Stevens, Rakia Jackson, and Kelsey Plum. And the last time they faced off against Indiana, 19-5, 2 blocks for Azurá. She was doing her thing. These past 2 games, she combined for 10 points, scoring 5 points in each of the games, under 10 rebounds in each of those games as well. She is going to be a key piece tonight, whether Rakia plays or not, or especially if she doesn't play, because they're going to need some of that offense. And Coach said it there in the presser, like, hey, we expect Azurá to be aggressive. I told her she's shooting the best she's shot all season this month. But it seems like seeing her shot attempts these last few. She just hasn't been aggressive enough, and they need her to be aggressive tonight. What's your thoughts on what you expect to see from Azurá?
I expect to see a major turnaround for Azurá. Shoot. She's been in a little bit of a slump, and that is okay because it means that she's right on time for a huge game, right?
Yep.
So I want to see a lot of Azurá standing and camping out on that 3-point. I know we want to see those slashers coming to the basket, but Azurá really is a calm catch and shoot. She can shoot that thing from 3 very calmly and over a defender. So why would we put a Ray Burrell out there or somebody to shoot threes who's going to have to work harder for it? I want to see Azurá really shoot 4 for 7 or hit those threes because we're going to need those points. And if she can get hot out early, that puts less pressure on the Ray Burrell who's filling in the starting lineup. You know what I mean?
Rakia can't go tonight. They last played earlier this month, August 5th. Azurá was 5 for 5 from 3. So she was ready.
I like that she
go.
liked this matchup because they're smaller and it's easier. I don't know what it's like to be over 6 feet, but I can imagine
Me neither.
that if you caught that ball, I would feel invincible.
Yeah, if you don't see nobody in
you
front
don't
of you.
see nobody, or your defender is doing a late closeout and they doing that weak jump.
Yeah.
Come on, Michael. I would be throwing that thing up. And Azurá has a sweet jumper. It's just the mechanics of it even.
Yeah.
It's just beautiful to watch. She can shoot.
Like Coach was saying, she got to trust it. She has to be aggressive. Even, getting inside, getting some offensive rebounds. If whatever's going to get you going, especially early on, because if Rakia doesn't play tonight, we know Kelsey Plum likes to kind of ease herself into the game, get people involved. Rakia has been the fire starter, the one to get it going early, scoring 14, 17 in the first half. If you don't have that tonight, you need somebody to step up, and this will be the ideal game to see Azurá
Silent assassin, just come in all yoga zen out and
A to Z do her thing,
and hit that. But you know what? Now that you're talking about it, if Rakia doesn't play today, who's going to be our villain on the court? Rakia is leading our trash talk campaign. Who is going to fill in? Is it going to be Kelsey Plum? She's less of a trash talker and more of like she's gonna show you. She speak through her body,
through her work.
You know what I mean? She just gonna go to work and take you up 1-to-1. But we saw how Alyssa Thomas, when she comes into an arena and she talks smack. We saw Skylar Diggins last night in a crazy Seattle Storm comeback, going crazy.
They were supposed to lose that game.
They were supposed to, but fuzzy ponytail Skylar Diggins came out, and you saw after they won, she hit the electric.
This is what y'all do. So they disrespectful, but just to take you around the league as of now, sitting at the top of the playoff standings, which they're going to most likely finish up at number 1, the Minnesota Lynx, who's coming off a loss. The Sparks needed that win. That would have been huge for Seattle to drop a game to get them closer to the Sparks, but it didn't happen. The Las Vegas Aces are on a 12-game winning streak.
I told you never. I wasn't even worried about them. Asia Wilson?
Yeah, oh my God.
They got the cheat code on their team.
They figured it out with Jewel Lloyd fitting in. Like, they figured it out there. 12-game winning streak. They sit at the 2nd seed. Atlanta is tied at number 3 with Phoenix at 24-14. New York Liberty are 24-15.
They done dropped all the way to the
a half game from that 3rd spot. And then this is where the Sparks are trying to get. You have Indiana, who sits at number 6 at 20-18. They are 2 games above the Sparks. Sparks can cut it to 1 with the win. Seattle sits at 2 games above the Sparks. The Valkyrie are a game and a half, but remember, they do have the tiebreaker. So if they end up with the exact same record as the Sparks, they will be in the playoffs instead. So the Sparks just got to do their part. If they win and take care of business, that's all that they can do. They control what you can control. So that's what they need to happen. Tonight you have Dallas, Atlanta. This doesn't really matter for the Sparks.
Doesn't matter at all for either one of those teams either. I don't even know why that game is playing. They should just cancel
Atlanta's up 49-40 at the half. But yeah, man, the big thing is, will Rakia Jackson play tonight? Is going to be big for the Sparks. If she doesn't, we got to talk Ray Burrell, Sugar Ray, because she's going to be filling in as a starter. Whether Rakia plays or not, I think Ray is going to be important in this game because she's somebody that can be a double-figure scorer if she's aggressive. And getting those shots.
She's going to get a rebound, too.
So I think that she needs to play with her hair tonight, whether she starts or if she doesn't.
I want Ray Burrell to start, and I'm going to tell you why. There comes a moment in every woman's life where you just wake up and you have to
Put on your big girl pants and say, I'm going to be her today. That's why Kelsey Plum came here to LA. She's to be her. When you start to become the third and fourth option, it gets weird. This is Ray Burrell's moment to step into the Sparks starting lineup and say, when my number is called, I will be ready. So Ray Burrell can give the coaching staff and really make a name for herself today.
Yeah.
She can have her Kobe moment and be like, I stepped on the court and dropped 30.
Hey, man.
Did she drop 25?
To a 20-point game. If she could come and chip that in, especially if Rakia doesn't play, that will be.
She gonna be on Sports Center tomorrow, right? If you watching this on the phone in your locker room or you warming up, I don't know what time it is where the girls at. But if you score 20 tonight, you on Sports Center.
Hey, she gonna come into that thing looking fly. You know what I'm saying? She coming to the game looking fly. If she can do some productive things on the court tonight, whether she starts or comes off the bench, it is going to be big to help the Los Angeles Sparks get a much needed win. Once again, LA Sparks Weekly, we outside with it. Emmy Squared Pizza here on 11th and Fig, LA Live. If you haven't been, pull up whether we here or not.
That's right.
Some fire pizza for you. I promise you. I ain't gonna lie to you. Some really good Detroit style pizza. They got brews if you like that. Come out here and show them some love. But it's gonna be a big one.
A big one. And
Indiana,
you know what? Don't
Los
hit
Angeles.
me. I'm gonna just talk to all of y'all that be stalking me on the social media. All 11,000 of y'all that was watching.
Hey,
do not be sending me belts if we lose.
Hey,
okay?
I think more of the people, they want to see the Sparks fail, not because of the Sparks, but because of you. They want to make you feel some type of way.
They coming after me. Yeah. But here's the thing, y'all. I know that we are in a position where it's like our feet are to the fire. Yeah. But this is actually good. I'm gonna tell you why, because we got a new coach. We have new front office as of last year. So for the past 2 years, the Sparks has been rebuilding, talking about winning basketball back. If you watched last episode, 11,000 people, Reagan Peebley was here, the Sparks GM. She was talking about the things that she was doing. So being in a crunch moment, actually pressure makes diamonds. My daddy used to say pressure busts pipes. Yeah. Okay, we're going to find out if it's leaks in the system right here or if the Sparks can really step up, take charge of the moment, and make that playoff push that we've been talking about. Yeah. Losses aside.
Yeah, they got to make it happen. But an also important player for the rest of this season, especially next season, Cameron Brink.
Cam Brink.
We had her on our show last episode.
Yep.
When they played against the Mercury, and she talked about continuing to get herself where she needs to be, but she really wants to help this team try to get into the playoffs in year 2, right?
Yeah.
The first overall pick from that draft isn't playing tonight, but number 2 is what can we expect from Cameron Brink tonight, or what would you like to see from her? Because whenever she can break out and have a big game, especially offensively, but defensively as well, it takes this team to another level, especially on the defensive end where they have to be great, I feel, to really make things happen late here.
Tonight, I expect Cameron Brink to get those blocks, but I expect her to foul less.
Okay.
We saw Coach have some tough moments with her in the last game. After she got that 4th foul, she just went over and said, you can't feet because they're going to call it. Coach Lynn Roberts also brought up in the presser that, when she played in college, that style of play was a little bit different, where she could get away with a little bit more defensively than in the WNBA. They calling it every time. So I expect Cameron Brink to come out tonight, do her same amount of blocks, but to be cleaner on defense with less amount of fouls, those little petty fouls that they are going to call. Because if Cameron Brink can stay on the floor longer, that really can affect our team with just altering the shots. We're not talking about her getting out there and blocking it every time. What's up, Indiana Fever fans? We got Fever fans. Welcome to town.